Welcome back to the Snod Pod with Jon Snodgrass, your mortgage resource where we're talking mortgages, real estate, and beyond. Air conditioning. I've got Justin Shurr of Air Masters in for another episode here. If you haven't seen the first one, we're talking heating and furnace. On this first episode, go back and check it out. But Justin, thanks for sticking around for another one.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
All right, yeah, you're welcome. So I thought a couple of reasons to bring you in. Obviously, last one, I just got to do furnace from you. My air conditioner is, getting there to be replaced. But I guess it's April. What should we be doing right now with our air conditioners? Getting ready to, turn them on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you get a warm day, not a bad idea just to turn it on, make sure it's operating. Doesn't have to be for too long.
Okay.
Just in case it doesn't come on and it's broken to get ahead of the rush that's going to happen, once it does get warmer.
Because probably most people are not turning it on until June or late May.
We refrain. Yeah, refrain, trying to save money, but it's not a bad idea just to check it.
Make sure it works. Yeah, because you want to check it, I would imagine. Yeah. I mean, it's a good idea. My wife wanted to turn it on last night because it was like 70, but like our house was a little warm. I'm like, no. I'm not turning on the air in April.
You got to enjoy it when it first gets nice around here. It's so cold for so long.
Yeah. So, but good idea, though, to turn it on. Maybe we should have turned it on to make sure, because when that 90-degree day comes and you want to turn it on and it doesn't work, I'm sure you're going to get
so many phone calls.
Yeah. You're going to be like, John,
I told you. We will be very busy. Yeah. So, and it's also not a bad idea, maybe to get a clean and check done on it.
Okay.
We have to do a good job, we have to wait for the weather to kind of get warm enough. I like it closer to 70 degrees outside to be able to do a proper clean and check, but with the conditions right, you can do it in the 60s.
So don't do a cleaning check in the winter.
You're not going to get a good look at the AC if you can't run it under normal operating conditions.
So what's normal? So like normal operating conditions is just like it has to be warm out?
Yeah, ideally 70 outside, and a little bit of a heat load inside. So it's warmed up a little bit inside your house.
Okay. What is there anything I can do personally? I mean, obviously I can call you to come out and take a look in the spring, but anything I can do to maintain it?
We talked about filters a lot, during the heating segment. Same thing, that filter, well, with a lot of systems, it's the same filter for the furnace and AC. So you're watching it year-round for both things. The second thing is the condenser coil outside. That will get plugged up with dust and leaves or dust and dirt and seeds.
So condenser coil. Is that something I can take a look at myself?
Yeah, you can. You can kind of look at the outside of your AC.
Taking a note.
Yeah.
Condenser coil.
It can be as simple as grabbing your garden hose and washing off the outside.
Okay.
Rinsing it down, making sure that the coils can breathe.
Okay.
That's very important. Something you can do yourself,
Okay.
Or maybe you want to have a clean and check, and we do those things for you.
Okay. So cleaning checks, so you said it's got to be warmer out. So are you starting to do cleaning checks right now, or is that more like in May or June?
I'm waiting.
Waiting.
Yep, I'm waiting. Okay. We have a list that we'll start getting to when I feel like
So you're telling, hey,
weather.
Everybody, let's wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
This has been cool.
Yeah, or if people want to schedule
mid-April
a date.
here.
Yeah, it's been cool. We have a few warm days here and there, but it's not consistently warm enough, I feel like, to do a good job yet, which is what I want to do. So I'm setting them up for mid to late May, and hopefully it's warm enough then.
Okay. I know when you replaced my furnace in October, I had mentioned my air conditioner, I believe, was around the same age, 11 years. Obviously I had some issues with the furnace that were, not typical, but age that you're replacing air conditioners, I guess, like how long are those lasting?
Less than they used to, but 15 and 20 years, we hope.
Okay.
Sometimes you get a problem before that.
Okay.
We hope for that.
Okay. So I think I'm at year 12 or 13. What should I be asking you, or if somebody's watching, out of the area, what should they be asking?
Well, I mean, I guess your biggest thing about a new one.
Yeah.
Okay. So we do have some big changes, coming right now with air conditioners. So refrigerant would be the chemical inside your AC that absorbs heat and causes your house to cool off. So this year they released a new refrigerant, and they're starting to discontinue the refrigerant that we have been using for the past 20, 30 years.
Okay.
So it's the units are going to cost more, the new ones coming out.
Okay.
So we still have some of the current units that we're using, or the current refrigerants. But so when you're looking to buy an AC right now, I feel like a difficult decision. You could get one for a more reasonable price, but it's going to be using a refrigerant that is starting to get discontinued.
Okay.
So, or you look at getting, the new refrigerant, but the units cost a lot more.
Okay.
Also, new technology, brand new release this year. So concerns about that.
Working the kinks out.
Yeah, there always is when they come out with new things. I prefer to let it get used for a little bit before I jump fully on.
It's kind of like when there's like a new model of a car, like for 5 years, it's like the same thing.
And they worked out the kinks.
Yeah. So I don't want to be that first one.
Yeah.
So you're saying kind of similar, possibly.
There's a concern for me.
Something to think about. Okay.
Yeah.
So what if I decided to, get the older model with the older refrigerant? What is because you said the refrigerant's going to be an issue. Like they might just run out, or they're not making it anymore. Or
yeah, I mean they're still going to make it for a while. Okay?
Yeah.
So they're going to stop making the units that use it this year, or they have stopped, and we're just kind of running on what's left.
Okay.
Yeah. 10 years from now, I'm sure at that point they're going to stop making the refrigerant.
Okay.
So at that point, the refrigerant will start increasing in cost to get because there'll be less available.
Less supply and demand, yeah.
Refrigerant gets recycled. So when we replace units, we suck the refrigerant out. We turn it in for recycling, and it gets cleaned and repackaged and sold back. So it will be around for quite a while, but the cost to get it 10 years from now, I'm guessing, is going to start increasing. So you buy an air conditioner now, or bought an air conditioner last year or over the past couple of years, and in 12 years you develop a refrigerant leak, depending on what the cost of the refrigerant is at, could become an expensive repair at that point.
Okay. So that's kind of the discussion we're probably going to be having here maybe this year. Hopefully it lasts another year.
Yep. So I'll give you both options.
Okay.
And from there, you got to try to make a decision.
Okay.
Pay less now and maybe more later, or pay more now and maybe less later.
Okay. What about when I got the furnace, and I probably asked you this back then, is there like a supplemental air conditioning unit, or only certain air conditioning units that are going to work with the furnace? Because they kind of work together, right?
They absolutely do.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially with our standard split systems that we have, in Wisconsin, ducted split systems.
Okay.
In most places around here. Yeah, they definitely work together. They are somewhat mix and match. There are certain ACs that need to be paired with certain furnaces, but, overall, they are mix and match.
Okay. So I got a Bryant.
Yeah.
So am I free to get any kind, or is there certain ones where you're like, hey, with certain ones work better with this one?
You're free to get any brand.
Any brand.
Could work.
Okay.
Yep. There are definitely certain models that would pair better with your
I'll
furnace.
lean on you, but I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So I could get any one. Okay.
You could.
Okay.
But we want you to get a Bryant.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. And this is, maybe I'm going to go right. I've just thought of a question for furnaces, and maybe this is air conditioning too, but like, I was thinking, like, when I go into like a Walgreens, like they've got, hey, there's the name brand toothpaste, I'll just say.
Sure.
And then Walgreens has their own brand, and it's like you look at the ingredients and it's the exact same thing.
Oh yeah.
And you save $2 if you get the Walgreens. Is there like a generic air conditioning brand or furnace brand
it's almost become like there's really only 10 or so major manufacturers.
Okay.
And each one of them outputs like 20 different brands, or
Okay.
they sell their design to somebody else, and somebody else like puts their sticker on
Generic.
it. So yeah.
So
that
there
can
is a
be true.
generic brand.
There is a generic.
I wasn't sure if that was a silly question or not, but I figured it.
So amongst our brand that we use, Bryant, Carrier and Bryant are the same company.
Sure.
And
I think my last one was a Carrier.
The higher end versions of that conglomerate.
Yeah.
So Payne is like a less expensive version. So that's like their generic brand that they output. Comfort Maker, they also own Heil. So, that's all the same family.
Okay.
And they have Night and Day. They have so many other brands.
Okay.
And then there's, other families too.
Okay.
So an extra trained family, Daikin.
Got it. All right. Well, I think this was informative. But any questions I didn't think about on air conditioning, that we should be asking, this time of year, or anything in regards to buying a new one, or
change your filter.
So it all comes back to changing. There's a theme
Such
here.
a big advocate for that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do your cleaning checks periodically.
Okay.
Make sure your condenser coil's clean.
The condenser coil. That's right. So summary: change your filters. You can take care of your condenser coil. I'm gonna have you show me how to do that when we come out to do a cleaning.
Another point, don't want to miss this. Your AC drain. So like there's a drain by the furnace coming out of the coil.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that stays clean and clean it out here and there. The water backs up, it's going to spill on your furnace and create some damage.
So the AC drain.
AC drain.
All right.
That's really important too.
All right. You
start to get to the point of, is that something you can do yourself? Probably.
Yeah.
But you start to get a little more involved when you're doing things like that.
All right, I'm jotting down some notes for when you come out.
I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, show me how to do it. A couple, whenever we got you coming at end of May or in June or something. All right. Well, this has been awesome. Thanks for all the information. Everybody, call Justin Shurr, Air Masters, air conditioning, heating, ventilation. Anything else that I missed, or is
that's it?
Air Masters.
Do one thing and try to be good at it.
All right, and Air Master. What's the website again?
airmasterswi.com.
airmasterswi.com. We got to get it right here. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This has been the Snod Pod with Jon Snodgrass, your mortgage resource, where we're talking real estate, mortgages, air conditioning, condenser coils, and beyond. Thanks for watching.